that contrary to Section 74 of the Public Procurement and Assets Disposal Act 2005, the Office of the Auditor General entered into a contract with Jomo Kenyatta University Enterprises Limited at an approximate cost of 120 million. That the firm was single-sourced by the Auditor General while in full knowledge that they had no capacity to undertake the review, and the firm subsequently subcontracted to an Indian firm. The petitioner further alleges that the procurement by what we call the JEQUATES, which is the Enterprises Limited, was greatly inflated without following procurement rules. My position is that this was a government-to-government procurement exempt and confirmed from the application of the then procurement law, and the same was undertaken in most transparent manner. A detailed report on IFMIS was produced and presented to Public Accounts Committee. This audit covered national as well as county. In other words, IFMIS operation both at national as well as counties. And given the scope of this audit, I consider that the amounts were reasonable and of value. The petitioner alleges that I acted in conflict of interest when the office tasked the auditor appointed by the National Assembly to review the internal audit system of the office, and further that the firm was paid 7.2 million shillings for the said consultancy. I can categorically state that there was no conflict of interest in engaging the firm of Baker Tilly Amerali, who are the auditors appointed by the Parliament, when I asked them to do the internal control system of OAG. This position has been confirmed to the committee by none other than the Professional Institute, which is the ISPAC, and the auditors themselves. I wish to state that this allegation is not true, and I sought approval from the National Assembly via a letter which I sent to the Speaker, and requesting to engage the auditor to review the internal systems of my office. This request was approved and was communicated to me by the clerk. So I did not violate. I asked the approval of the appointee of the auditors, which is the Parliament. The petitioner alleges that the Auditor General has violated Leadership and Integrity Act by employing persons belonging to one ethnic group, more so in Corporate Services Department and in the recruitment of the audit associates, thereby engaging in nepotism, favoritism, contrary to Article 73(2)(b) of Chapter 6 of the Constitution. Recruitment is a function which falls under the Department of Corporate Services, and the Auditor General does not in any way participate in the recruitment process except for the interview of the interviews of the highest management cadres. However, in response to this allegation, I wish to state that I am aware the office has observed diversity and incorporates 23 ethnicities in its 1,273 employment workforce. Of this, the highest representation are of Kikuyu extraction, of 481, representing 32% of my staff. Before a year, 2 years or so back, this ethnic community was at 42% of the staff. Now, this is all what I can say of the substantial issues which were raised by Mr. Magona. And with that, I thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I can take a few questions, and remember, it should be limited to the point of this press conference. Okay, I think I'll take about 5. Okay, mention your name and yeah, just give me a pen, just a minute. Yeah, yes, Moses.
The lawyer I was first concerned about the way I'm actually using the first concerned about the way Parliament handled the petition, it was tracking. Do you feel that possibly they are going to push to audio in the office? And if yes, so which point?
If you're in a position, let's take them all. Okay, let's.
So we take 4 more at random, isn't it? I don't know what we will use.
The lady was up. Yes. Sorry? Brenda. From? KBC. Okay. Okay. Okay.
My name is
Chemtai.
I want to find out that your move to go to court has sort of been interpreted as you trying to block a parliamentary process. What is your comment on this, and why is it that it appears you're going to the media instead of probably arguing your case elsewhere?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, the fourth one.
Stephen,
Citizen.
This afternoon, the Speaker of the National Assembly will give a determination on whether the Finance Committee will proceed hearing the petition. Should the Speaker give a nod for the committee to continue with the hearing? Are you ready to appear before them or reach their summons going forward?
Okay, let me answer those ones. There's one more.
Which is the 5th? Maybe
Yes.
My name is Patrick Abimo for KTN. I was just curious, with regard to this company that was paid about $36,000 where William Oduol Ochieng is, and it's alleged is your relative. Maybe clarify to us whether you are related to William Oduol Ochieng, whether you know him. And two, in the recommendation from EACC, it said that you are among the 8 persons who are recommended for prosecution with regard to for having for abuse of office, willful disregard of the procurement laws, among other 4 charges, which later on the DPP found maybe they could not be sufficiently prosecuted. But why do you think the EACC wanted you prosecuted together with the other 8 plus the OC Kenya?
Right. Let me, Sam, I might ask you to order. Now, the hounding, let me see if then I can ask you to amplify. So I will answer some, but sometimes also I will ask if he has any additional point to answer, to add to. Do I think I'm being hounded out of the office? I'm also a human being. I'm doing my work, and I see all this happening, like what the process we've gone through, and it's naturally I would feel concerned, and I sometimes then wonder who may be behind this. We wish that the petitioner may have, given the committee the persons who sent him to give this petition. Now, the issue of stepping aside, the investigation has been done. The DPP has cleared me. So I don't know, stepping aside, this is a judicial process. It's not an investigation. So I'm not being investigated. So I cannot step aside. The process would be, as it were, constitution. After this process is when this tribunal, which could then be set up, then after that will be advised by my lawyer. The block going to the why do I hold this press conference? Is it to block or preempt the proceedings of the parliament? No. First of all, we have explained to you, if you're in opposition, you would be equally concerned. But more importantly, this is we want to make sure that things are done properly. This may create a precedence in the future. I have only 2 or 3 years left in this position, but it's not a question of me. It's a question of things being done properly. That's why I'm here telling you, and I'm here to tell you, and as my lawyer said, once the court process is concluded to its logical end and it requires me to go back, I will go back voluntarily and very happily, because I would like the Kenyans to hear my story. And I still feel that in spite of what's happening, the Kenyans have been very supportive and prayerful for me, many. And I think a lot of civil societies have come out, and I owe them a duty to actually be able to go through these petition issues, so that they know that those who are really supporting me can be at peace with the support. Of course, it has been explained, you know, if I go before the committee, it would appear to be contempt. Yeah, okay, the lawyer will deal with that. Now, very interesting, the issue of 361, because I singled that out and I said I'm going to court for this malicious allegation. Ochieng Oduol, if I know him, maybe we've just met somewhere, but I do not know Ochieng Oduol. I've not dealt with Ochieng Oduol as a person in any business contact. I do not know even this company, Weston, and that's why I'm extremely hurt about this allegation. And I wished that that's why we pressed for this petitioner to take what we call oath. Yes, in giving this, so that I can have a leeway. A petitioner cannot go and claim something like this. So I'm concerned. I don't know him. He cannot be my relative. I don't know him. I'm concerned, and I think this is, by my action, you can see how concerned I am.
Very interesting what is going on there. Auditor General Edward Ouko generally just saying if the process is not fair, then the outcome